Almost every single story out there relies on dialogue. Dialogue is when characters speak to each other. It's the primary way that they interact with each other. However, a common problem with students' dialogue is that the speech feels forced and unnatural. In order to write good dialogue, try to put yourself in the minds of your characters. Who are they? What motivates them? How are they feeling? Listen to your characters and try to write dialogue that feels real and feels like something the character would really say. Let's take a look at an unrealistic example. How was school today? It was great. We learned so much about important life questions. I felt energized by my classes. Thank you for asking, Mother. Now, your mom may wish you'd speak like that, but I bet very few students go home and talk to their mothers like this. This doesn't feel like real dialogue. Let's try fixing this up a little bit. How was school today? The boy shrugs and grunts in the back seat of the car. Speak up, honey. I asked you a question. Okay. Just okay? What does that mean? I don't know, Mom. Now, this kid may be a little more rude and may not reflect how a lot of us speak to our parents, but it is something that feels a little more natural for kids and teenagers. Not all your examples have to be this extreme, because of course your characters may be exceptional people. However, you should always still try to get into the mindset of your characters. One other point you should consider when writing dialogue is not to rely on dialogue for exposition. That means not to use dialogue to try and explain everything that's happening in the story. It's a common mistake that a lot of novice writers make. Here is an example. As Bob reached to press the flashing red button, Susan cried out, "Bob, don't touch that button! If you do, the planet will explode!" "What do you mean, Susan?" asked Bob, his finger an inch away from disaster. "Remember when I went on that mission a year ago to study the planet's core?" "You mean with Dr. X, the man who's currently trying to steal our secret plans?" "Yes, Bob. He told me about his plan to blow up the planet using a bomb connected to that button." You can see in this example that the dialogue is explaining the entire backstory. It's very clumsy and doesn't engage us in the rising action. So instead of using dialogue for exposition, you should use descriptive details and show the actions that occurred that lead to the rising action.